Who am I? Who do I need? And who do I need to get rid of? Do you guys remember that? And when you say that, because most of you are love bugs, most of you are here, I'm the mission and the team and the vision. Some of you are like, no, I can't get rid of people. I don't want to sack people. But it doesn't just serve you, it doesn't serve the rest of your team if you've got someone who's not the right fit, not the right player. And truthfully, how many want to really serve people? Who wants to serve people? Raise your hand, say I. It truthfully doesn't serve them either. If they're in the wrong fit, in the wrong team, you're actually not serving that person either and inviting them to go somewhere else.
Just imagine large organizations, right? And in any organization that is large enough, eventually there is a normal distribution of the people, right? So normal distribution. Here we have the top performing. Here we have excellent people, good people, less than good people, and here we have people that shouldn't be here. Now, let's say that you run this organization and you want to improve the quality of the organization. When you hire another top performer, you definitely impact. When you fire someone that doesn't need to be there, the impact is dramatically bigger. And the reason is that everyone knows, right? If there is someone in the organization that shouldn't be there, everyone knows.
Yeah.
And if you take care of that, then everyone realizes that, okay, you are doing the right thing. And the impact, the overall impact is dramatically better.
Yeah. I love that. It's very nice. That's very nice. Give me a hand for that. It's very nice. I love that we've talked about how do you take an idea and make it real. And the first thing you talked about was building a team. Like that's the very first thing, right? Find the CEO and then have the CEO build out the team. Tell me, if you look at all the different businesses you've done, they've all been you solving a problem, whether it's Move It, which is sort of ways for public transport, whether it's NG with the mechanics, whether it's Fairfly with the flights. When you book a flight, what happens if the price goes ups and down? What do you think is next? What other problems or frustrations do you have in your life that you think are problems that need to be solved of significant perspective? What other industries out there need to be disrupted?
So few thoughts, right? So number one, I'm not done with traffic because,
okay.
You look at traffic jams today and you tell yourself, okay, this is actually more severe than it was 10 years ago, right? And this is after we built ways, right? And so the problem did not disappear. Maybe we feel a little bit more confident when we're driving that we are actually outsmarting the traffic, but the general problem of the traffic is still there. I'm looking at medical services. Right. So just imagine, and I want you to think about the following, okay? The medical services in the US are 5 times more expensive than they are in Germany.
Yeah.
Now, it's not that they're better. They're simply 5 times more expensive. Now, when you realize that they're 5 times more expensive and they're not better, then obviously there is sort of waste throughout the value chain. And it's pretty big. And so I'm trying to figure out that. I'm looking at life insurance as a major problem in the US. I would say more than half of the people have the wrong life insurance. And we are buying whatever the people that are selling us are selling, right?
Sure, I don't understand. I just signed the form.
And the reality is that we probably can build something better here. So I'm looking at a lot of problems to try to address.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Now let me try another one. When you travel to Europe and you buy goods there, you actually entitled to get the VAT back. Now when you try to do that, then you'll figure out that 95% of the cases people simply fail to get their money back because of complexity, because of long lines, because of different issues, right? And so I'm building Refund It that is about to make it as simple as, take a picture of your receipts, your passport, your boarding pass, and get the money back. As simple as that.
Thank you, because I go to Europe every year. It's very nice. Can I ask, what's the process? Because well, let's just talk about when you sold Waze. How does that happen? How do you get $1 billion phone call? How does Google just call you and say, "Hey, we want your"? How does that happen? And how do you feel on that day?
Actually, exactly like that. Right?
Really?
And so when Google reached out to us, they reach out with a one-page term sheet.
One-page term sheet.
And they said we're gonna close the deal in a week, and we simply said yes. Look, at the time, you look today at Waze and you ask yourself, was that the right move or the right decision or not? And this is very important to remember. There are right decisions and no decisions, right? Because when you make a decision, you don't know what it would be like if you will make a different decision. Right? And so we tend to tell ourselves, okay, Way is probably worth today 10 times, right? So maybe $10 billion because there are so many more users and so many more people using that, and they figure out the business model since then. So a lot of good reasons to say it's worth more. But whether or not it would get here to this position, we don't know that.
Yeah.
And throughout the history, you look at the Netflix asking Blockbuster to acquire them and Blockbuster saying no twice, right? And we know what happened to Blockbuster and we know what happened to Netflix. And we kind of say, how can they not see that?
Yeah.
Or Yahoo not acquiring Google for $2 million, right? And so different reason that you look at the decision at the point of time that the decision is being made, and it's always the right one.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what it would be like if you would choose a different path, right?
Sure.
If Yahoo would acquire Google in 1996 or 1997, would Google become as significant as it is today?
The world would be very different right now.
We don't know that.
Yeah.
Right? And so we said yes to the acquisition, and this process actually leads to. In particular, we said yes because we knew from past experience of Google is that they don't break things that work, right? And so they believed in the vision that we had, and they wanted to keep the vision up and running, right? So helping drivers to avoid and outsmart traffic. And for me, I left. The day after the acquisition, I left, so I can build more startups, and this is what I'm doing since then.
It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool with $1 billion. Tell me, what is it? Because you've got so many great ideas. You're doing so many things. I think I asked you backstage. What does your day look like? What does a day look like in a serial entrepreneur's life? You're involved. You're a board member, or a chairman, or a co-founder, or investor in 10 different companies. What does a day look like in your life?
So, I would say that the first year of a startup is the most critical one.
First year.
There are two things that happen on the first year. The product market fit is being figured out, and the DNA of the company is being established, right? And these are the two most important things at the journey of a startup, right? Because when you look at the applications that you are using or services that you are using today, and I would ask you, so what is the